Hi, and welcome back to C1 Risk Training. Today we're going to be looking at the applicability function, and we're going to show you both how to select applicable controls, select not applicable controls, and write your statement of applicability. And then finally, we're going to show you how to export your statement of applicability report. So this is actually done from our GRC library in the obligations tab, but obviously this is a compliance function. So selecting applicable controls is related to audits, particularly in relation to ISO 27001, but also PCI and a number of other regulations and standards. All right, so let's get going. So let's start in the obligations library, and we're going to use ISO 27001 as our example. So I'm just going to click into the obligation. And as you can see, there's nothing showing on our dashboard because we want to select the controls that are applicable, and that's going to help build this dashboard. So let's start by going into the control library. So we'll click on control libraries. And then you'll see here in the applicability column that everything is unknown right now, and that's why there's nothing featured on the dashboard. So we can open this up to see the full set of controls. And what we recommend that you do, particularly with a standard like ISO, is because the majority of controls are likely going to be in scope for you. What you can do is just do a select all here by clicking this button. If you don't want to do that, you can select individual controls just by clicking on them, or you can hold the shift key down and you can do a group select of the controls, however you want to do it. But we recommend that you start by selecting all here. And because most of these are going to be in scope, then what we're going to do is we're going to go to our ellipsis action buttons, select change applicability, and of course, we'll change these to yes. All right, once you've done that, then of course, what you can then do is go through and select the controls that are not in scope. And so we'll just grab a few just as an example. And now we can, and now we can change this to no. So we have a few that are no. Okay, so once we've done that, the next thing we want to do is write our statement of applicability. And there's a couple of ways, again, that we can broach this. So we can first, if we just want to write in scope for the applicable controls, we want to filter out those no controls first. So we have the filter here that we can go to. We can select applicability. And now we can just select those controls that are yes. And that's going to sort everything for us. And you see we have 171 that are in scope. Now I'm going to select all of these again, and I'm just going to change SOA this time and write in scope. Okay. So that will bulk change all of the control statements in these controls that you have selected. If we just go into one of these, I can show you that. So in that individual record, you see now it says just in scope as a statement of applicability. Then for those that are no, if we want to just select our ones that say no. Let's get rid of the yeses. What we can do for these is we can then go into these, because these often require a little more explanation of why they're not in scope. Now what we can do is go into the individual record. And here we can, again, click change SOA. And now we can update this and write a full update with a full explanation. Okay, and then same thing, we click save. And now that's given us a modified SOA. So very, very simple process in terms of setting applicability and then writing the statement of applicability. So again, just as a refresher, you can do that in bulk here and then change either the applicability or the SOA. And similarly, you can go into the record and actually update both there just by doing change SOA. And again, there we have the option to do both and write that new statement of applicability. All right, so finally, once we've done this, we want to come back to our control library. And now we're going to go to the details section in our obligation. So note I'm back in the obligation here. I'm going to go to the details section. And what I'm going to do is print out this Statement of Applicability report. So I'm just going to export to SOA using my action button. Here we go. And then what that's going to do is that's going to provide that file for me. And here you have your required Statement of Applicability report. I'm just going to pull those columns out so you can see everything here. And so here we have the obligation section, the relevant control, control name, its applicability, Statement of Applicability, and the last modification date. Some folks like to add the control owner here and or the policy reference as well, but this is enough to give you your standard Statement of Applicability report for your ISMS for your audit. Okay. All right. So pretty simple process for all of these. And if I just get rid of that report for a second, and now if I finally just go back to our dashboard, now you can see our dashboard is populated based upon the controls that we've selected, and we can see what's in scope, what's not in scope, and look at our readiness and start to progress with our audit preparation. All right, so that concludes our training for today. Thank you very much.